Good morning, Judge.
Morning, Kevin.
Good. Case number 1182, Carter versus Sperling.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Mr. Carter, you and Miss Sperling have a child together.
Yes, ma'am.
And based upon the calendar year, that child must be a little over a year old now.
Yes, ma'am, correct.
It's a boy.
Yes, ma'am. Thank God.
Well, you also had a daughter.
Yes, ma'am.
And that daughter is not the child of the defendant, but with another lady.
Correct.
With whom you also don't live.
Right.
Do you have any other children?
Yeah.
How many?
4 total.
How old are they?
7, and
It's just a minute.
1 and 1.
7?
Yeah.
And are they twins?
No.
So they have two that are
Separate mothers.
7. Their mothers are different.
Yes, correct.
Okay, so you have 2 7s. Go ahead.
And 2 1s.
And 2 1s, also not with the same mother. They were
Right,
not
just one
twin.
with the defendant.
What do you do for a living?
I work at Domino's and I do the voiceovers.
Do voiceovers for what?
It's content,
Explain that to me.
like a TV show.
Okay, well then you're gonna have to speak up and slowly, because if you do voiceovers, you wanna project yourself, right?
Right.
Who do you live with now?
Currently living with a friend,
Male or female?
male.
According to you, an incident happened about a year ago that involved the defendant.
Yes.
You each have very, very different versions of that event. You're the plaintiff. It is your allegation that the defendant assaulted you seriously.
Yes, precise.
Which caused serious injury on October 10th of 2020.
Yes, precise.
I'd like you to tell me your version of the events.
Yes.
She has a version that is markedly different.
Yes. So October 10th, I was had received a phone call to go to a defendant's house. She wanted.
You got a phone call from her.
Yes. She wanted me to drop off some money, but I refused to drop off money if I couldn't see my son.
Had you been having difficulty seeing your son in the past?
But prior to that incident, it was on and off. And then after the incident, it got better.
Okay. Your son was 3 months old at the time, according to what I read.
Yes, correct.
And the two of you didn't live together.
Right.
She called you, she said, I need some money for the baby.
Right.
You said, I'm not going to give you money unless I can see him.
Yes.
If she let you see him, you were prepared to give her money.
Yes, I'm prepared to take him with me too.
Well, I don't know if did she want you to take him with you?
But that was my standards.
Oh, so not only did you want to see him,
Yeah.
you wanted to see him outside of her presence.
Yes, precisely.
That's I'm not finding fault with that.
Yes, I had my daughter at the same time.
So you had one of your 7-year-olds?
Yeah.
Just one?
Yes.
Okay. Well, what did she say to you?
It was more majority of the fact she didn't want me to. She didn't want to be in the presence of the baby at the same time.
No, you have to tell me what you said to her and what she said to you.
I told her I wanted to see my son if she wanted to get some money. She told me, you're not seeing your son at all. And I had told her I was going to come over her house and come pick him up because we had prior talk.
Just a second. So she said, you're not going to see him.
Right.
And you said, I'm coming over anyway.
Right.
Okay. About what time of the day was this?
This is a little bit afternoonish.
Around?
12 o'clock, 1 o'clock.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, afternoon is also 4 o'clock. But this was about 12 or 1.
Right.
Okay. So you went over there, even though she told you not to come over.
Right.
And you drove over with your daughter.
Precisely, yes.
Does she live in a house or an apartment?
Apartment.
First floor, second floor?
It was first floor. But I also want to note, prior to me coming over, it was a day before, she had told me I could get him, so she had changed her mind overnight.
Okay.
So I do want to note that.
Without going any further, is what he says correct so far?
No.
Well, then let's pick it up, your version of what happened just until that point. He says you had agreed the day before that he could see his son. Then you called him and you said, I want some money. He said, I'm not giving you money unless I can see my son. You said, you're not going to see him. He came over anyway. Mm-hmm. What's your story?
So I had called him from work. I'm a chef, and I was working at the casino. I did ask him for $50 to help with the daycare fees for that week because it's $200.
Okay, so you did ask him for money?
Yes.
Was this on October 9th or 10th?
I asked him October 9th at night.
So you were working, called him
Yeah.
the day before.
Yeah.
And asked him for money.
Yes.
And he said to you?
He said, unless I'm seeing you, he didn't ask to see his son. He said, unless I'm seeing you, I'm not giving you no money. I said, well, you don't have to see me. My brothers are at home. You can drop the money off to him. I didn't have sex with your brothers. I'm not giving them the money. I said, well, you could just forget the whole thing. I get it from my father. And that's when he popped up at my house.
The next day?
Yes.
Were you home?
Yes, I was. I was cleaning.
Okay, well, slight variation, but I got it so far. He showed up unannounced.
Yes.
Go. Your version.
To my understanding,
Just a second. Now you get to the house. Your 7-year-old daughter is in the car. Yes. You leave her in the car.
yes.
Alone.
I tell her I'm going to be right. Yes.
You left your 7-year-old daughter in the car alone. This was in October.
Yes.
In what city?
Cincinnati, Ohio.
Was she in a car seat?
She's old enough, so no.
So the answer is she was not in a car seat.
No, ma'am.
Was she in a seatbelt?
Yes, she was in the seatbelt.
So you left her in the car and you went to the plaintiff's door,
Yes.
step by step.
I went to the plaintiff's door, and She opened the door, and I told her I'm here to get Bryce, and she said, "Where's my money?" I'm like, "I gotta go see the son first." And she's my son is in the kitchen, so she's at the door. I see my son, and she's like, "Yeah, he right there." And I'm like, "Let me get him." She's like, "Nah, no, I wish you would step in." So I'm like,
No. Slowly. I have to make this mental picture for myself. Slowly.
Right.
You're at the door. You lean in.
Yeah, I lean in.
You see him in the kitchen.
Yeah. And it's back.
You said, "I'm going to go get him."
She saw me looking like I wanted to go get him. She's like, "Yeah, he right here, and I wish you would come get him." And I stepped in the house.
She said,
"Yeah,
"I wish you would come get him."
yeah."
Okay.
So I stepped in the house. And when I stepped in the house, she slammed the door behind me and
How did she slam the door behind you?
like welcomed me in the house and then slammed the door. And then next thing you know, we walk a little bit towards the center of the living room. And then I just got smacked and popped in my head and nose for a few times.
So she hit you?
Yes, a few times. And I started bleeding a little bit on the ground, on the floor.
Okay. Did she say anything when she hit you?
It was just more antagonizing me.
No, just antagonize is a word that doesn't describe an act.
Right.
So what did she say when she hit you?
She told me, what was all that stuff you was talking on the phone? And I told you went.
What was all that stuff you were talking on the phone?
Right.
Did you know what she was talking about?
No, because all I had told her was I was coming to get my son, and she told me I couldn't get him, but from my understanding, you told me I could get him yesterday, so I was going off the actions of still getting him the next day, so that's all she was telling me.
So she comes over.
Yeah.
She lets you in the house.
Right.
Closes the door.
Right.
Meanwhile, your 7-year-old is alone in the car.
Right.
And you're in there. You say she hits you a couple of times, causing you to bleed from someplace.
The nose.
The nose. And then what happened?
She reached for a glass jar, like a heavy glass jar, and tried to swing on me with it. But I had blocked her hand from actually connecting with my face or whatever predictive degree she was to effectively hit me with. So next thing you know, I threw the glass jar on the couch, and I ran towards the door.
So you grabbed the glass jar out of her hand.
Yeah, as she was swinging it, yeah.
You threw it on the couch.
Yes.
And went towards the door.
Yes.
Go ahead.
And I ran out the door running towards my car to go get in my car to leave her house. And I get in my car, and she's chasing me down with the glass jar, and she started.
You got in the car?
Yes.
Did you close the door?
Yes.
Go ahead.
I closed the door, had the window down, and next thing you know, she's coming towards the car, bashed the windshield in, and I'm like sitting there in shock that she blasting the windshield in, and I stick my hands out the window to try to stop her because she's like right there by the mirror. And next thing you know, my hand gets caught in the action of her bashing the windshield in and tore some tendons and some nerve damage.
And your daughter is in the car?
Yeah, she's witnessed me running towards the car right along with my witness here.
Did you see what happened after she was chasing him?
After I seen him getting chased, he ran into the vehicle. I just seen something just getting swung at the windshield. I just seen him put his hand out. All I heard was an ah, and then next thing you know, just spurred off.
Savaz Carter claims his ex-girlfriend, Timani Sperling, owes for car damage and an assault. Timani is countersuing for harassment, claiming Savaz threatened her.
Now, did you make a police report?
I made a hospital report when I went to the
I'd like to see it.
Yes, ma'am.
So on the 10th, you went to the hospital?
Yes.
I'd like to see it. Okay, I mean, you read this report, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Initially, the nurse says patient states his baby mama attacked his car as he was attempting to leave and she broke his driver's side window. And then the chief complaint, and this is provided by a physician's assistant, patient, that's you, 27 years old.
Yes, ma'am.
27 years old, 4 kids, none of whom live with you.
No, ma'am.
Nice. 27 years old, presents for an evaluation of multiple lacerations on the fingers and wrists. Patient changes his story multiple times throughout the history taking and also provides very vague details. He initially tells me he was sitting in a car holding a glass cup and his girlfriend came out and threw another glass cup at him and he went to protect his own glass cup, causing them to collide and both break, showering glass on his right hand. He later states that the girlfriend broke his driver's side window, which is what caused the cuts. He denies any alcohol or drug use.
Yeah, I don't understand how that nurse got my words misconstrued with me having a glass cup at the same time.
I don't know. I wasn't there. Patient stated it occurred 6 o'clock this afternoon. You said it occurred between 12 and 1.
I went to the hospital at 6 o'clock because I had to drop my daughter off after this incident happened, and then my brother came and picked me back up, and then he took me to the hospital around 5, 6 o'clock.
Where did you drop your daughter off?
Back home to her mother.
How far is that?
Probably about 3 miles. Not far.
Well, that's 1 o'clock. Then you're at the hospital at 1:15.
No, I went to the hospital later on around
Why?
5. Because I had to wait till my brother got back. Because he had took my car to go drop my daughter off. Because he was in the car with me.
This brother?
No, this is the witness that was down the street. He's a neighbor.
A neighbor of hers?
Yes.
Would you stand up, please? Tell me your name.
Brandon Kelly.
Mr. Kelly, do you know the plaintiff?
I know of him. Been around him, seen him a few times.
You know the defendant?
Same thing, seen her a few times around the neighborhood.
Do you remember October 10th?
Vaguely, but yes, ma'am.
Can you tell me what you saw about 1 o'clock in the afternoon?
It was kind of a blur a little bit because the day before it was my birthday, so I kind of partied a little bit. But as I was outside, me and my friend,
Outside of your house?
at my friend's house because it was her house, but we was outside. And you know, typically it's like baby mom, baby dad drama, people yelling and stuff. But in this scenario, there was a lot of commotion. So I'm like, wow, like, so it just happened to see him getting chased.
You saw him being chased?
Yes, ma'am.
By whom?
By the defendant.
Where was he going?
He was running to his vehicle.
You saw that?
Yes, ma'am. I seen him running out the house to the vehicle and to drive off because I thought the situation was funny because I didn't know if they were serious or not because stuff like that happens all the time. Not like with the glass and stuff like that, but just typical yelling back and forth, baby daddy and baby mom drama.
Did you see what happened after she was chasing him?
After I seen him getting chased, he ran into the vehicle. Like, you know, I just seen something just getting swung at the windshield. I just seen him put his hand out. All I heard was an ah, and then next thing you know, just spurred off.
He took off?
Yes, ma'am.
And what did she do?
She just went back to the house, like it basically amped up, upset.
Did you report that to anybody?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Can you tell me how he contacted you today?
Through Facebook.
Explain that to me.
Basically, you know, things go around in the neighborhood. My friend, she had the thing recorded on her phone.
She had what recorded on the phone?
Well, basically had the incident recorded on her phone.
The friend that you were with that day?
Yes, ma'am.
So she recorded the defendant chasing him to the car?
Yes, ma'am. Because she was out the window. Typical, like, viral moment, that's what I guess.
Did you ever see that video?
No, ma'am. But she put it on Facebook. I'm not really a Facebook person.
So your girlfriend put the video on Facebook?
Yes, ma'am.
This happened a year ago?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you know what name she uses on Facebook?
I'm not for sure. I could probably look it up.
Look it up.
Yes, ma'am.
I also have the evidence of the windshield, if you'd like to see.
No, I don't want to see anything yet.
Okay.
I have it right here.
Got it? Kevin, would you hand that over to Sarah, please? Just an unlikely occurrence that you can actually find that. But it's worth a shot. Okie dokie, you have a whole different story about October 10th.
Yes.
And we're looking for the video. So before Sarah, who is very adept at what she does because she's a millennial and that's what they do as a part-time job, did you follow him from your house?
No.
With a glass bottle in your hand?
No.
Did you swing a glass bottle at him?
No.
How was his hand injured on October 10th?
Actually, I got the pictures to prove that he shattered my windshield. I mean, not my windshield, my windows in my living room, and his blood is on them, on the picture, so.
So what you're telling me is that he came over to the house.
Yes, ma'am.
On that day, because we all agree that he came over to the house uninvited.
Yes, ma'am.
And tell me what he did, step by step, just like I told him.
Okay, he came to the door. It was open because I was mopping, so I was letting my floor air dry. He had came in the living room. I told him he needed to leave my house. You didn't have permission to come in my house. My son was not in the kitchen. He was in the living room in his bassinet next to the couch. I said, my son's asleep, so I did push him. I did not punch him.
Just a second. So you put your hands on him?
Yeah, I pushed him out my
Just
house.
a second.
Yeah.
You put your hands on him?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you get him out of the house?
No, he started yelling and screaming back and forth.
Okay, so you put your hands on him, he started yelling and screaming, and then what happened?
I told him I was calling my mother and my stepdad, and that's when he left.
And then what happened?
He went to his car, I guess, to grab a hammer and busted my living room windows, and that's how he got cut. The blood is on the window.
Okay, he busted the living room window.
Yes, ma'am.
And after he busted the living room window, did he leave?
Yes, he had skirted off, and then I told my mom, because it's actually her residence.
What happened next? Now he's outside.
I threatened to call the police, and I had called my mom, and when she got there, we had made a police report.
I'd like to see it.
I don't have it.
So you called the police, no police report, and?
And when she had pressed charges against him, he had to pay restitution.
Okay. Do you have any of those court documents?
No.
Were you arrested or taken into custody for vandalism of the defendant's mother's window? See him here and around us not making videos. Mr. Kelly. That's what he did say.
That's what he said.
Yeah, that he
I did.
seen here and around, just like I see her here and around.
I got a message from
Sit.
Mr. Kelly.
That said,
Savaz Carter has accused his ex-girlfriend, Timani Sperling, of assaulting him and breaking his windshield. Timani says Savaz threatened her and broke her window first.
were you arrested or taken into custody for vandalism of the defendant's mother's window?
No, ma'am, not whatsoever.
Did the police question you about it?
No, ma'am.
Did you pay for the window?
No, ma'am.
No, let's go back. Did you pay for the window?
No, ma'am.
Do you have any proof that he paid for the window?
No, that was between him
second.
and her. So no.
So you have no proof?
No,
Just a
I
second. Just a second. The answer is no.
No.
Who do you live with?
My mother.
Where is she today?
She is currently sick right now.
So she's not here.
Yeah, she's not here.
No video posted from this time.
October 10th.
Yeah.
It is old.
Do you know Mr. Kelly?
Actually, yes. I had got.
Just a second. Before October 10th, had you seen Mr. Kelly before?
Yes, they have.
Just a second. The answer is yes.
Yes.
When had you seen him before?
Him, they do videos together. They do music together. It's all over his and his Facebook.
I'd like to see it.
Gladly.
Before she shows it to me, Mr. Carter, is that true? That you and your witness, Mr. Kelly, do music videos together?
Yeah, every now and then.
Every now and then?
Yeah.
Do you know that every now and then means that what you told me and what Mr. Kelly told me today was not true?
Excuse me?
What do you mean, excuse me?
No.
Excuse me was, do you know each other? Yeah, I know her like I know him. Have you ever made a video with Mr. Kelly?
No, ma'am.
No, Kevin. Have you ever made a video with Mr. Kelly?
No, Judge.
You ever made a video with Mr. Carter?
No, ma'am.
Ever
It was-
sang a duet with Mr.
no.
Do you understand what I mean?
It was
You
never-
got what I mean, Mr.
It
Kelly?
was never a music video.
What? Just a second.
Yes, ma'am. May I say something, please? The video-wise, like cameramans, we do that. But like, far as knowing him personally, no. Like I said,
He
I see
also had
him.
texted me on his
see him
behalf.
hearing
before.
around.
Just a second.
That's why I say I see him here and around.
No,
I
you
see her
see him here and around is not making videos, Mr. Kelly.
Yes, ma'am.
That's what he did say.
That's what he said.
Yeah, that he
I did.
seen here and around, just like I see her here and around.
I got a message from
Sit.
Mr. Kelly.
That said,
How it was going on, this is Brandon, which he stated his name, Savaz's brother, which is him. Savaz, he just got locked up. Can you call me when you get a chance? This is him.
But I'm not his brother. So why would I say brother?
But they are best friends. He technically, when my son was born, was supposed to be his godfather.
just a
so.
second. Just a second. I got it.
Wow.
Lie to me once. We're done. Do you understand?
Excuse me?
Mr. Carter, did you ever go to court and ask to be declared legally the father of this child and ask for certain rights and responsibilities?
No, I asked for rights to stay away from her to stay away from me, not the child.
Just a second. Do you see your son?
Not right now, no.
Well, not right now. Right now we're in court. Do you visit with him?
No,
Does he
not-
come to stay with you?
Not as lately, no.
When was the last time you saw him?
It's been a few months.
Where did you see him?
I took him to daycare and dropped her off back at home.
Is that right?
No, not technically, no. He did come and get me and my son for daycare, but we had gotten into an argument because he's not supposed to be in the daycare. He wanted to go in because it's family owned by my family. So he kicked us out the car. He did not take us to daycare.
But you let
Yeah, I
him
was
come
in his
over.
car, yeah.
Yeah,
He
you
did not
Case is dismissed, we're done. You don't come here, sir, and you don't bring a witness here that lies to me. Do you understand? And just
No, I
like the
didn't.
physician's assistant said, he kept telling different kind of stories. He was vague as to sort of what happened.
Excuse me?
Two glasses, one glass, a windshield. If somebody came after me and cut me, sir, so that I had to have hand surgery, I guarantee you there would be a police report. Guaranteed.
I wasn't presented for a chance to do a police report.
You've had a year.
I was going through stuff with her for a whole year.
Yeah, okay. We're done here. Your case is dismissed, as is your counterclaim.
Court is adjourned.